Now, the island of Crete is a beautiful place, and many people say they could spend all of their days sat on the beach staring out at the beautiful blue ocean. But imagine if that's all you could ever see. Well, this is what happened to the great Athenian architect Deadalus. He was employed to build a great maze underneath the palace at Knossos. Once this maze was complete, this labyrinth, Deadalus was locked in the highest-most tower, so he could never tell anyone the secret of how to escape. And many Greek heroes met their death in that maze with the Minotaur. But, well, that is another story altogether. This story is about Deadalus and his son Icarus. Imagine, locked in a tall tower all day, with nothing to do but the work of a king, and nothing to see but the sea outside your window. Well, that's not all they could see. What else do you think they could see while staring out into the sea and the sky? Of course, they could see the birds flying so free. Now, Icarus used to watch the birds with such jealousy, wishing he could get out and escape into the sky. But Deadalus saw the birds and had a great idea. He decided if they could capture enough feathers, collect enough, he could maybe build a set of wings for him and his son, and they could fly out of the tower. So Icarus climbed out of the window of the tower and climbed up onto the tower roof, where he could access most of the roofs nearby and collect as many leaves as he could. Deadalus, when he was about his work in the courtyard, he gathered up as many leaves as he could, till they had gathered 2 huge sackfuls of beautiful bird feathers. And then Deadalus started to make a frame of soft wood. And one by one, using melted wax from the many candles in their dungeon, they slowly stuck feathers to the wooden frame until it was covered in beautiful bird feathers. And then the day came. Both father and son climbed onto the roof of the tower and then helped each other strap the wings on. As Deadalus strapped his son's wings to him, he said, "Listen, son, be careful. Do not fly too close to the sun, for the heat from the sun will melt the wax that holds the feathers onto the wings. But do not fly too close to the sea, for if your wings get wet, they will not support your weight." And Icarus said, "Yes, father, I will do as you command. I will fly just behind you. I will not leave your side." And then, with trepidation in their hearts, they took a deep breath and jumped off the side of the tower. And they fell down, 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 down. But just before they plunged into the foaming sea, the wind caught them and lifted them up. And they were flying through the sky. Deadalus flew straight towards the nearest island, and Icarus was right behind him. But Icarus could see the other birds. He wanted to test out his wings. He wanted to fly like the birds that he could see. So he started twisting and turning and flying in loops, dipping down close to the sea so his fingers could just reach into the waves, and then flying higher and higher and closer to the sun, till one by one his feathers started to fall. As Icarus realized what was happening, he flew lower down, but it was too late. The wax was melting. His wings were falling apart. Deadalus realized what was happening as his son wasn't behind him, and he called out to Icarus, but Icarus was plunging now faster and faster towards the sea. And just as Deadalus reached him, he couldn't quite reach him. Icarus fell into the sea. And as Deadalus tried to pull his son out of the sea, his wings were not big enough and strong enough to support them both. Icarus died in the deep sea. The great sea that now bears his names. The Icarian Sea, an everlasting monument to the boy who flew too close to the sun.